Hey, what's going on guys? Lag here, and thank you for joining me today for a Nioh 2 build video. Alright guys, in today's video I will be sharing and discussing my armor I'm using for my sword and Odachi build. And before I get to that, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the skills I'm using on my sword and my Odachi. Again, your sword and your Odachi custom active skills don't have to be like mine. So this is all personal preference, so just bear that in mind. I know E quick draw is a pretty famous skill, but it's not necessary for this build. But if you want to use E quick draw, go right ahead. Eventually, when we get our level cap raised, we should be able to unlock more skills. So. This skill right here, by the way, guys, in case you haven't noticed, this actually got a damage buff. And I can kind of tell because when I was using it before the patch, it didn't seem to hit as hard. But after the patch, it hits a lot harder now. So, if you haven't unlocked. Alright, guys, going to my Odachi now. So these skills I have on my Odachi, I will recommend a few for my high stats skills. So starting off with Twin Moons, this is a pretty good move. It basically is like a rapid upward slash as soon as you get done doing a two-piece with the square button. And I actually have this skill with heart, being that this build is skilled most with heart and strength. I was going to go reckless slice, but I decided that I didn't want to use that at the moment. So, alright guys, and for Moonlit Snow, being that you get your most damage output in high stats, I do have this skill with strength, being that the Odachi skill is the most with strength. And the damage output is pretty substantial. So, you can go with strength, or you could even go with let me see what that skill is. It's not reckless slice. There's another one, but it does a lot of damage to your health, so you have to be careful with it. Raging strike, that's what it's called. This right here, you would do a ton more damage with the Moonlit Snow, but bear in mind, this scales with the amount of damage dealt by the weapon. So you could pretty much kill yourself using this move if you don't have tenacity on, I believe. And I don't feel it's necessary, so that's just personal preference. So. But for the time being, like I said, I'm using strength. Alright, and this is a hidden art, by the way, in case you don't have it unlocked. It's called Swirling Snow. Alright, that's it for the Odachi, guys. Alright, now heading on over to our items. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with our soul core. So for our soul cores, guys, I'm using Gaki. I pretty much use the same soul cores for a lot of my builds, mainly Kasha. But for this one, not Kasha, but for Magatsu, the reason I'm showing him is he is a better alternative in case you don't have Gayuki. You want Gayuki in this spot, but if you do not by any chance have Gayuki, Magutsu Warrior is a better alternative. So just keep that in mind as well. Alright, so going back up top to my armor now, starting off with my sword, I'm using the Atage Side of Moon. And these are my rolls as such. You probably don't need to have saturation on here. I have a pretty high amount of saturation. I have saturation rolled on both of my charms, so, that's just personal preference. But I do have Imbue Water as well. I'm using melee key damage, life drain, and attack bonus heart. Alright. For my Odachi, I'm using the Sakishu Kasusada, which is a gear bonus and a gear piece to the Moon Prayer set. Alright, and as I showed you guys earlier in the video where to acquire that set, that Revenant, he drops the gear as well, but if you don't get lucky, I'm sorry, if you do get lucky, you'll get the text. So you don't want to worry about farming him to get the actual gear. Alright, ranged weapons don't matter. Alright, going down to my helmet. I'm using the Kingo's helmet. I have Moonlit Snow on every single piece of my armor. So with this amount of Moonlit Snow damage, I'm roughly sitting at about, I want to say 49%. And I'll go back to my status sheet to check on that in a bit. Alright, and I have Key, Omnio Magic Power, Defense, and Attack Roll. Alright, going down to my chest. I'm using Life Recovery, Omnio Magic Power, Untouched Omnio Magic, Moonlit Snow Damage, and I'm using Attack as well. Alright, another thing too, guys, to clarify why I'm using Moon Prayer in case I haven't mentioned it before, or if you just find in my build video, let's go right ahead over here. Alright, so as I discussed in the video earlier, when I was stenching myself, you do not have to stench yourself to get this damage bonus. You could simply be playing the game, you know, you could be saturated, confused, you could be electrified, whatever ailments you suffer, it will proc this bonus. And also, the more you suffer ailments, such as 2 or 3 ailments, if that's, you know, if that actually happens, that's more of a damage buff you'll get from using Moon Prayer. Alright, and also, like I said before in one of my builds, this stacks with Carnage as well. Because when you're using the Carnage Talisman, your armor is weakened, and that's considered an ailment suffering. Alright, and if you have not used Kingo's before, these are the bonuses you get from Kingo's, which is Life, Final Blow, Melee, and Backstab damage. Alright, so now going back to my rolls on my pants. Don't have to be like that up top with the item drop rate and defense, that's just personal preference. But you definitely want to try to make sure you can get Moonlit Snow damage. If you can get it as an herbal, that will make the Moonlit Snow hit a lot harder. Alright, and also guys, I like to mention one thing about my builds in general. If you watch any of my builds in the past, just bear in mind the true damage potential if you use Weakness Talisman. It's completely unnecessary, honestly. I never use those in my builds because I want to have the enemy's defense up as much as possible with the exception of me using water. But weakness is pretty strong, so I don't use the Weakness Talisman so that way you can get an idea if you want to use it how much damage you will be doing anyway, you know what I'm saying? So alright. And let's see guys, tenacity. Yes, you want to make sure you have tenacity. Faster winded recovery, that's personal preference. In case you don't know what that does, it basically allows you to recover in case your guard is broken a little bit faster. So, and you know, that's basically it for my rolls on my armor and stuff. Alright guys, so now we're going to head on over to the tea house so I can show you what clan I'm using. Alright guys, so for this build I'm using the Honda clan as well. And the reason I'm using the Honda clan is bearing in mind it gives you extra active skill damage towards your active skills you're using. Such as the Moonlit Snow, the Swirling Snow, Imperative Strike, such as stuff like that. So alright, and it gives you extra damage mitigation on the very first attack you suffer. Alright, I think I got it all this time guys as far as the location of where to find Moon Prayer. How to get Kingo's. In case you don't know, Kingo's is relatively easy to get. I get it a lot off the Revenants, but I got my actual text off of shooting Doji, the mission where you fight him at. So alright guys, but other than that, that's about all for this build. Let me know what you think if you want to check it out or whatever. And that's about all, so I'll catch you guys later.